Welcome to Branding the Embassy Function, the podcast. I'm Oladele and I'm honored to have you with me as we begin this journey. This podcast is about embassies. Yes, those tall buildings with flags waving out front and long lines outside the gates. But more than that, it's about what embassies truly mean. Because embassies are not just administrative centers, they are cultural mirrors. They are gateways to identity. And in this first episode, I want us to start with the most common, the most enduring picture in everyone's mind. And it's the visa counter. That small window, that glass barrier, that desk with a stamp. For so many people, it is the only thing an embassy represents. But is that all? Or could there be more? Let's talk about what lies beyond the visa counter. Now, let me take you on a journey. Imagine it's 4:30 in the morning. Lagos is still waking up. You're dressed in your best. Suit well ironed, shoes polished, folder neatly stacked with bank statements, admission letters, and invitation documents. And then you arrive at Walter Carrington Crescent, already joining a line of people that snake around the block. Everyone is clutching the same dream to get inside, be approved, and move on one step closer to opportunity. And hours after, you pass through security. You surrender your phone and sit in a waiting room with nervous faces. Your number is finally called. You approach the glass counter, and behind it, someone you've never met scans your documents, asks a few questions, and then with a stamp decides your fate. That moment, that tiny window of interaction defines your entire impression of the country. Now pause with me. If that was your only encounter with, say, the United States or the United Kingdom, or even Canada, what would you think of that nation? Would you see warmth, culture, identity? Or would you only see bureaucracy? And this is the reality for millions of people. For them, the embassy begins and ends at the visa counter. And so I ask, is this enough? Should the embassy, a place meant to represent the full identity of a nation, be reduced to forms, queues, and stamps? Let's be honest. Many embassies project an image of cold efficiency, sometimes even hostility. And yet, behind those walls lies the chance to tell a richer story. Because embassies are more than visa factories. They are stages, they are classrooms, they are bridges. Think about it. If someone judged Nigeria only by the visa line outside her embassies, would they ever be able to see the depth of Nollywood? Would they taste the energy of Afrobeats? Would they feel the colors of our fabrics or the richness of our festivals? No, they would only see a transaction. And this, my friend, is the danger of limiting the embassy to the visa counter. It tells an incomplete and sometimes damaging story of a nation. So let me share a few contrasting pictures. In Washington, I once visited the Japanese embassy. Tucked inside was not just an office, but an art gallery, paintings, calligraphy, photography, telling the story of Japan's soul. Visitors who came for paperwork often lingered, learning something deeper about the country. In Paris, Alliance Française is more than a cultural center. It's a heartbeat of language, heartbeat of music and exchange. So through film festivals and concerts, it makes France feel alive far beyond the visa counter. And then there are embassies that miss this chance entirely. Places where people walk in and walk out with nothing but the taste of bureaucracy. No story, no brand, no identity. Now imagine this. What if every Nigerian embassy abroad had a corner for Adire exhibitions? Or a small monthly Afrobeats showcase? Or a short film screening of Nollywood classics? Wouldn't that leave visitors with more than just a stamp? And this is what I mean when I say the true function of the embassy lies beyond the visa counter. Now, the true function of an embassy, let's break it down into three functions. Gateway to identity. An embassy should be the first doorway to experiencing a nation's soul through art, language, hospitality, and simple human interactions. The embassy is the handshake before the handshake. 2. A cultural stage. Embassies should actively project the creativity of their people. Germany has the Goethe Institute. China has the Confucius Institutes. The UK has the British Council. These are deliberate stages of cultural diplomacy. Nigeria has begun, but we can do more. Imagine every embassy abroad becoming a little Lagos, a little Abuja, a little Ibadan. 3. A hub of trust. More than paperwork, embassies should be bridges. They should show that nations care about people, citizens and foreigners alike. An embassy that hosts cultural dialogues or open days, what it does is it builds trust far stronger than one hidden behind walls. So, you see, the true function of an embassy is branding. Not branding in the commercial sense, but branding as storytelling, as positioning, as identity making. So, what does it really mean to go beyond the visa counter? It means we stop reducing embassies to stamps and start elevating them into storytellers. It means that a person's first contact with a nation should leave them curious, inspired, even delighted, not just processed. Think of this. What if your first visit to an embassy left you humming a tune, remembering a painting, or carrying a cultural memory rather than just a stamped passport? That, my friends, is the power of branding, the embassy function. And here's where we begin our journey. Well, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this first and opening episode of Branding the Embassy Function, the podcast. Next time, we'll explore the idea of the embassy as a gateway to a nation. Because if it's not just about visas, then what exactly should an embassy represent? Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support this journey, the details are in the show notes. This, once again, is Oladele. Remember, The story of a nation is too important to be left untold. Let's tell the story.